Dear brothers from planet Earth, I am Seraphis Bey. I bring along with me my white ray, the ray of balance, the ray of the junction of the 7 colors. Understand, brothers, for some, the moment is tough. For others, nothing seems to change, and for others, the moment is excellent. You look at each other and ask yourselves, why do I go through this? Why this suffering? The right question should always be, what do I need to learn from this problem? The request should be, universe, help me understand what I need to know. If everyone thought this way, you would quickly get out of trouble. But unfortunately, the vast majority still have a powerful ego that doesn't let them realize that something is to be learned there. It's easier to complain about people. It's easier to complain about the world. It's easier to complain in general than to stop and look at the problem head-on. Many can't understand the ego. They wonder, what is it? So I'm going to try to help you understand the ego. You do something that will have other people involved as a consequence, but you do it without caring about others. That is ego. You think you're better than everyone else and can do whatever you want. Others have to accept it. You decide something for someone and impose your decision, ego. Because you think you are superior and you are always right. So what you think the other has to do, it's not a suggestion, it's an imposition. It doesn't matter what the other will feel, it matters what you are determining. Many act this way. You always put yourself at the forefront of everything. You take the reins of anything. You are always the one who is first in line because you think you are capable of leading many, because no one is capable of that, just you, ego. There is no superiority among you. Everyone has his share of wisdom and intelligence, and no one is better than anyone else. I would be here giving many examples, but they are actually pieces of what I've already said here. Don't think you're superior to anyone for whatever reason, by race, color, belief, intelligence, wisdom, or profession. No one is better than anyone. You really like to humiliate those who do services that you, in your opinion, would never do, because you are too good for that, and the one who does it is considered a poor fellow who has achieved nothing in life. So he does it because that's all he can do, so you think. Who are you? What are you better than him? You studied in good schools, you have a lot of money, and that being that you think is so inferior didn't have these same opportunities. But how did he get to where he is? How is it for him to do this inferior work? For you. He's reaping what he sowed at some point, you think. Or is it that you are one of those in your society who have never done anything for those without opportunities? You always tend to judge the person. No, she's doing that because she couldn't do better. Did she have the opportunity? Could she have had someone to hold her hand and help her move forward? Maybe she never had it, because the vast majority of society thinks they are too superior to help those who are down, and you put them way down there. They are not people in your circle, so they deserve to be there doing inferior services. However, how would you live if they didn't do inferior services? You would have to do them, wouldn't you? So you forced some people back there, at the beginning of the world, to be your slaves, to do menial jobs. This is how your society was created, with slavery defining who is on one side and who is on the other. For the rich, everything. For the poor, work and everything inferior. That's how many of you think. You often say, "Oh, but I worked for it to get here." Sure, you were born well and given opportunities, but that doesn't give you the right to humiliate those on the other side. If I put you and anyone else who does lesser service side by side dead, your bodies would rot similarly, giving off the same smell. And they are exactly the same. You don't have more organs than they do, nor will you rot differently. You are all the same. So as long as society maintains this conception of superior and inferior, there will be hunger, poverty, misery, and disease, because those in the upper caste don't really care who's on the other side. On the contrary, you think they were made for that very thing, and they have to be born, live, and die doing that because you would never do it. So, notice how your egos still call the shots. You separate, discriminate, laugh, and humiliate those who are different and don't care what you provoke. You don't care if you make them suffer, so what's the way out? It's just one. Understanding that there is no superiority because you are smarter, have more opportunities, and have more financial conditions, you are superior to the other. No, it's not. Your walk has led to all of this, but you are the same as each other in every way. In soul, because both have a soul, in body, the bodies are equal, they have all the organs exactly the same, and they are looked at by Father, Mother, God exactly the same. Where is the superiority? So the day you stop feeling superior, not letting the ego lead your lives, you will take new paths and begin to approach that direction of the light path. Because as long as there is an ego, you are walking in the opposite direction. While you discriminate, humiliate, and make fun of a brother, you are walking reversely. But you do all the procedures we ask you to do. You do everything, but the most important thing you don't do is respect your brothers and look at them as you are, so not as someone you can step on and humiliate. It makes you go in the opposite direction. You are fooling yourself that you are going in the direction of the light. And I will say that many are doing this, and I say more, many who today think they are rich are trying to buy a little place in the fifth dimension. They can try to buy whatever they want, but not this. Because evolution is not for sale. Evolution has to come from the heart, not from the pocket. So look at yourselves. Do you fit any of the things I've said here? If so, start changing while there is still time, because the moment will come when there will be no more time to change. You are in the center of a great circus, in which there are two opposite directions: the light and the shadows. And more, this circle gets more extensive, because it gets bigger as you get closer to these roads, becoming an ellipse, not a circle anymore. Then, there will come a time when the distance between these two roads will be so great that there will be no more time for you to turn around and go in the opposite direction. The time is now, the time was yesterday. Stop letting the ego lead your lives and paths. The new world will be a world of equality. So you need to learn to live this way, in this world, not there. It is here, it is in this world that you need to evolve to get there in the fifth dimension. But, unfortunately, the tip of this ellipse that leads to the light is skinny. The other side is crowded, and everyone is fooling themselves by moving toward the shadows. There is still time to change, so stop and think, how do I look at all my brothers on the planet? What am I doing to change? What am I doing for my journey so that I go in the direction of the light? Then find the answers quickly and effectively start heading towards the light, because otherwise, up ahead, when you realize it, it will be too late. Thanks for watching my channel. We love you so much.